Welcome back to 360 Sports. We have baseball today. It is right around the corner. It is actually a month away. I cannot wait. How are we feeling for baseball coming back?
I'm excited.
It's going to be fun. Let's get right into it. So, me and Isabella and I were Yankees fans. This is going to hurt a little bit. Juan Soto made his debut for the Mets a week ago, basically, and he had a good first impression. He had a home run. What are we thinking Juan Soto is going to do in his first year as a Met?
I mean, if Steve Cohen stops worrying about buying land, then maybe he can focus on organizing this team a bit more. I mean, they don't really have all their players playing right now. He wants to keep them healthy, so they're not going to win every preseason game. My bad. And yeah, if we're going by the facts, everyone needs to step up their game. It can't just be like, what was it, the Francisco Lindor show? There was a Mark Vientos show at one point, and now with Juan Soto on their team, no one can really relax. Not like you can do everything and we're just gonna watch you. No, you all have to step up if you want to be in the World Series. And honestly, Juan Soto being on this team could be a little bit of a decrease because of the I'm forgetting my words. Just not being able to hit more home runs as he did on the Yankees because of the left field, how far it is than the Yankee Stadium. And he is a left-hand hitter, so that's where he would be pointing to mostly. Miracle if he does right field. And yeah, overall, you won't see the level of batting potential he has as he did with the Yankees and now with the Mets. But overall, there needs to be consistency throughout this whole season if the Mets really want to make it far into the season like how they did. They need to step it up a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Mets had a really good offseason. I mean, they brought in guys like Clay Holmes and AJ Minter for the bullpen. They've brought back Pete Alonso, and then they brought in Juan Soto. So, I mean, I think the only thing that me and you talked about before, I think the starting rotation is a little iffy.
Yeah, they brought in Clay Holmes actually as a starter this year.
Yeah, I did.
Rather than bullpen. So, yeah. I mean, when you sign a guy to the richest sports contract in sports history, I mean, it's well-deserved, but you're going to take a hit somewhere. Gabby, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I think as good as Juan Soto is, I just don't really think he's that one guy that's really going to get them over the hump to get them to the World Series. Yes, he's had great years in the MLB so far, but I think that when it comes to one guy getting signed, the Mets do have their superstars, and it's just adding to it. And I think Juan Soto he has the postseason experience that they're going to want because some of the guys on the team just don't. But I really just don't see him helping them so far. I think they did make great moves in the offseason, but I don't see them going to the World Series. And I don't know if that's a Philly fan in me talking.
I think it is.
I think the Mets.
I think they'll make a good run. I don't know how good that rotation is going to do in the postseason because that's really what it comes down to in the playoffs is having a strong rotation. But obviously you have a guy like Soto who's been there before. You know, I mean, he's a winner. He's a champion.
Yeah, I think a huge move, too, that not too many people are talking about is retaining Pete Alonso. I mean, he definitely got offered more, especially Toronto. They offered him way more than what he did. He came back. But, yeah, that rotation's going to be iffy. Moving on, this is a rule that had to be long overdue. The Yankees have banned their facial policy. I can't believe I'm saying this. Yes, you were not allowed to have a beard if you played for the Yankees. This has been going on forever now, and I think it's long overdue. What do we have to say about that?
I like it because, I remember back when Garrett Cole signed with the Yankees, he had to shave his whole beard, and
it looks better.
It just looked so weird.
Yeah,
and
they look better.
It kind of did. I mean, it kind of did. But the fact now, I think a lot of those guys want to have some facial hair, and I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good for the team.
Do we remember the Bat Boy that Michael Kay
played? The Bat Boy that
Michael Kay got. So I think that, and I don't really see it changing much in the future, but I think it's good they overturned it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty much in the middle here. I don't really care overall what policy is which. I just want them to win a World Series. That's just my overall thing.
I want to say this. Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Kyle Tucker both being free agents, both wear beard. I mean, go and sign one of them now that they can keep their facial hair.
Vladdy does not have a beard, really.
He has somewhat. It would have been, I guess, he would have had to shave it all off.
Kyle Tucker's the same way, I feel like. A little stubble.
Oh, it would have been illegal in the Yankees rule, so.
I didn't even know it was introduced in 1976, that rule.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was earlier than that.
I know Don Mattingly used to make it famous because he used to wear the mullet, and they made a big deal about that. And I think Don Mattingly was able to get around it. So,
Yeah.
moving on, we're gonna rank some bad flips. Bad flips, the most exciting play, in my opinion, in baseball. We're gonna go rank our best bad flips we've seen. Isabella, you're gonna start us off.
Okay. It's board, right?
Yeah.
All right. If it comes on. Okay. Okay. So normally I would choose Giancarlo Stanton like any moment. It's iconic to me every time he's just like tossing that thing like he knew he did something. But I went along a route of Didi Gregorius way back when he was on the Yankee team. I admired him so much from the moment he debuted with the Yankees. And this particular moment is the grand slam he hit in the 2019 ALDS Game 2 series against the Twins. And we were already ahead. It was the bottom of the third, but he clinched it right then and there. I think the score ended up being 8-2 as a final. But the way he just flipped the bat I felt like it was just so iconic to me because he had fun. He was having the time of his life, I feel like. And it was so like cartoon character-ish. It made me laugh when I don't remember if I saw it live or not, but if I did, yeah, I would compare it to that. And he just flipped that like, yeah, I did that. What you gonna do, basically?
Yeah, you like that, Waddell?
Yeah, I do.
Like that as a Yankees fan.
Isabella, if I'm not mistaken, is that like whenever he hit that home run and like stood at home plate, kind of swung the bat up in the air and then just threw it?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah,
I was trying to look back on the
Was it
video.
his 2-homer game? Do you remember?
Oh,
that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't, but his bad flips have been notorious Yankees history.
Yeah, because he's always like doing a bat flip every
Mhm.
time he hits.
Yeah. So moving on, Ben, let's see what you got.
All right. Well, mine's notoriously known by many people, but this kind of has like a personal background because back in like 4th grade, I'd say I used to always pretend to be sick and not want to go to school. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, but I used to pretend to be sick. But every time I was home, the Blue Jays would be on, and this was like 2015, and I'd always just watch the Blue Jays all the time, and they would always be on at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I really got to really like enjoy watching the Blue Jays. And when Jose Bautista, former Pirate, by the way, gotta respect that, he hit this home run that just was like erupted the entire stadium, and just it was unbelievable. And I think that I certainly do love Jose Bautista's. It's the most notorious one of all time. So I think Jose Bautista. But yeah, I'm still a Blue Jays fan. I'd say besides the Pirates, the Blue Jays are probably my second favorite team in baseball, just because I used to always watch them whenever I was sick or when I was sick. So yeah, kind of a story for you guys, but yeah.
Pretty
And that was
valid.
a
Definitely
great pick.
iconic,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jose Bautista pretty much invented the bad flips in baseball.
did.
It wasn't really that
I think it started
popular,
the trend. That's another thing because it started. I feel like it started the
Oh, it
trend
definitely
too.
did. Because now
100%.
Because not a lot of people did it really
Mhm.
much before that, but now
Yeah.
you see
I feel like it
everyone
was
do it.
banned then.
it wasn't banned. It was just
Or
kind of like an
whatever.
unwritten rule or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's
So,
like yeah,
It's like frowned on.
Now no
Yeah.
one cares.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Gabby, what do you have?
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going a little biased on this one, but I had to pick Bat Spike by Rhys Hoskins in the 2022 NLDS against the Braves. I just think this is way too iconic to not include it. It was the Phillies' first postseason home game in 10 years. The bank was packed, and Spencer Strider was untouchable in the first 3 innings, and all of a sudden Bryson Stott comes up with an RBI double. They walked Kyle Schwarber to get to Rhys Hoskins. First pitch, 3-run home run. He spikes the bat down and he runs around the bases so fast. And I think that was just so iconic because now the Phillies are seen as a postseason team. And I think that moment really started it. Like, as you can see, he just has a big smile on his face. He's spiking the bat. It is not a flip. It is a spike. And then to translate that to the next year, Bryson Stott, when he hit a grand slam, he low-key did the bat spike just like Rhys Hoskins. And I think now that's like a big thing when it comes to Phillies postseason. So I'd have to say this is pretty iconic.
too bad he's in Milwaukee now.
Don't talk about that.
That's
It's okay. Bryce
cold.
Harper's my first baseman now.
Yeah, I do have to say
That
that
is
those
true.
bad
Yeah.
flips in postseason baseball are just
It's
different. I mean,
iconic.
yeah, he just
Especially the bat spike. I feel like that's something
was
I've
so-
never seen before.
he
until
like
now.
hit the ball, stood up, put his hands in the air, and just spiked the bat. Never
I
seen
forgot
that
about
before.
the hands in the air.
Yeah.
I
So-
love like the look, like you knew you did something. You just drop the bat
Mhm.
and just
Yeah,
walk.
that's just
Yeah.
all. It's all emotion there. It's like you're at home, front of your fans and you just hit an absolute
especially against
nuke.
Strider. He was
Yeah,
untouchable
he
all
was
year.
untouchable all year. All the first
Mhm.
3 innings, he was untouchable, and then they had like a 6-run inning against him.
So moving on, we have me. This one, I saw it. This just happened, by the way, a couple days ago or a week ago. This guy's name is Zach Veen. He got drafted 9th overall in the Colorado Rockies. Hit this home run. He bat flipped it. First time I've ever seen this in the fair territory. It went right beside the pitcher. If you haven't seen the video, you have to check it out. I'm not even lying. It went right at the pitcher, and he kind of apologized, gave a little sorry, but I mean, this bat flip was electric. I've never seen anybody do it, and baseball needs more bat flips because it's the most exciting play in all of baseball.
So did he like? I don't think I've seen this. Did
Yeah,
he
I
literally
haven't seen
just like
this.
as soon as he like,
I
completed
know.
a
It's,
like,
swing and he just
halfway
walked
He just, like,
over?
threw
it?
it.
So, like,
he just threw
He
the
like
thing.
kinda,
Throw
like,
it?
swung, and then like when his momentum came from the back, he just threw it forward,
Oh.
and it went right to the pitcher's mound, and he kind of had
Oh
to
my
like
God.
he gave like a sorry.
He's
He's like,
like,
I'm sorry about that,
my
but
bad.
yeah,
was-
That's
Pitcher.
interesting.
I forgot to
I
mention
don't know who
about
the pitcher was.
I forgot to
but
mention about Didi, but apparently this month he was a guest instructor at the Yankee spring training.
I did
And
see
he
that.
was, I
He
did
took some
see
reps at
that.
short.
Yes.
Hey.
So they better be good. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
we need a third baseman. So
He's
if you
still
have-
influential after they got rid of him.
So, enough with the bat flips. Let's go and predict some players. We're gonna have 5 players. We're gonna predict their season stats, see how those square off. So let's get right into it. First player, I think we got Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an awful picture.
So
that is
You can do better
that is a
than
rough
that.
picture.
some
Do better than
context.
that.
Some context around here. Shohei Ohtani, 2-way player. He didn't pitch last season. UCL injury. Tommy John. He's coming back. First pitching season as a Dodger. So how do we think he's gonna square off?
I think this is his second time coming off Tommy John surgery, and it has been seen as a pattern that like the second time a pitcher gets Tommy John, they don't come back as effective. Their velocity's down, and stuff like that. Command is down. But I think that like he is Shohei Ohtani, and he's just gonna find a way to like win the MVP again. Like I genuinely I see him doing well. Like obviously his innings are probably gonna be down just because he is coming back from a severe surgery like that. Excuse me. But I think he is Shohei Ohtani, and he's gonna find a way to be the best.
I mean, Dave Roberts said he's set to maybe come earlier than May or like be in like come start pitching in May for the Dodgers. So I don't know. The question is he going to return? Is he just going to sit this one season out and be fully better for the next season? Because of course, yeah, he had Tommy John surgery on his elbow, and I don't know. I just feel like it won't be the same as he was, but pre injuries and stuff. But I think he'll pull through. I hope he does. I would love to see like the level of pitching he had before he was injured. I wouldn't say quite a lot, but like some of the times. I would like to see him get back to that potential and hopefully be healthy for the season. I know it's a long season. He has time to heal and all, but I'm waiting for the day.
Yeah, I mean, this guy had one of the best offensive seasons of all time last year, and now that he's going to be pitching again, I think that's just unbelievable. The fact that he's working back to where he is now.
Yeah, and
But thing is, I'm predicting like a sub-3 ERA. I feel like that's a good point you mentioned through Tommy John surgeries. I think that's going to be. I think that's going to play a big factor. But like you said, it's Shohei Ohtani, so I feel like he'll get it figured out. I mean, the Dodgers have one of the best rotations. We're granted one of the best teams in baseball, so including pitching. So
I would say like
Yeah.
above a 3, but then he'll get back
I-
to like the
yeah.
3.
yeah, I think it'll be like a
Yeah.
little rocky. I
I don't
He
know.
just has rust he's gonna have to shake off, obviously.
the way
I think he'll be perfectly fine.
the
next
way
season.
y'all
Like
were
the-
talking, I have him going for a 4 ERA for some reason.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
had him at
coming-
0.5.
I don't think it'll be
I
that
had him
bad.
at 0.5,
but he's
so,
coming
like,
back at pitching. The Dodgers, we all know they've spent a lot of money, especially pitching. I think he's going to be, well, at least at the beginning of the year, he's going to be the 4th or 5th option in this rotation. Struggling maybe early, coming back, new park, new scenery, new
yeah, that's
everything.
true.
Maybe he could crack. I think it would definitely be 3.5 to 4 area.
Yeah,
But-
was
Yeah, I
saying
had
that.
3.5 on my.
I don't think he'll be.
I'd say the same.
I think
thing.
his career is like 320. I don't think he's going to be that, which I don't know. He's done pretty much first 50-50 year ever. So he's done
Mhm.
everything. So I'm
if we're
not
talking
saying.
prime Showy,
Yeah.
below 2.
But
Yeah.
100%. But I
For
also
sure.
think what Ben said, saying like it's cool that he's coming back because most guys would have a season like they did last year when MVP is a DH and say, okay, I'm going to DH for the rest of my career. But he's working his way back to want to pitch, and I think that's something that you could admire
Tell you
too.
what, I also think the Dodgers are paying him way too much money just to be a DH.
Yeah.
What about
100%.
offensively? Let's quickly go over his offensive stats, if anybody.
Well, I don't think they're overpaying that offensive
Yeah.
performance
Yeah,
last year, in my
definitely.
opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
I would throw all my money at that.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
don't think
yeah.
the Dodgers would be where they are last season if it wasn't
Yeah.
for
Yeah, without
Getting
that
him.
Yeah, he's-
50-50, there was no World
he's
Series
arguably-
without him.
everyone. The thing is, that's like what I was talking about with the Mets is that I know the Dodgers have been consistent. They've always made the playoffs, but this time they actually like stepped themselves up because Shohei Ohtani was there. Like, oh, this guy's the best. We're going to be the best with him. And they did that.
Yeah.
They succeeded.
He's won everywhere he's played. Japan, he won the World Baseball Classic. So we're going to move on to another player. The next player we got going is Garrett Crochet. New team, Red Sox gave up a lot to get him. What are we thinking for his season?
I think he's not on the White Sox anymore, and that's a plus.
Yeah.
It's
He's
good for him.
definitely
Yeah.
playing for something this year.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. I mean, he's one of the best strikeout pitchers in the league. One of the better lefty guys. I think that he's gonna have. It's tough because I don't know how good the Red Sox rotation will be with him in it, but
They are
I-
saying that he would be their number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would probably definitely be
Yeah,
there
oh, yeah.
after what
Yeah.
they gave up for him.
That's true.
yeah, and I think he's really happy that he's out of Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't think he was really.
After 121
Yeah,
losses.
enjoying it
Yeah.
there.
I wouldn't
Rough.
say they kind of limit him at the end of the year, but they kind of knew he was getting traded. So they didn't like pitch him to his full capacity
Mhm.
near the end of the year.
Yeah.
Thinking definitely over 200 strikeouts. I have him going
Yeah.
225 plus, probably the low threes to the mid 3 ERAs, in
Mhm.
my
Yeah.
opinion. So
Last year he had 209, even with the kind of like
Yeah.
shortening his season.
Yeah.
So if he plays the full like 30 starts, I feel that he can definitely get 250 plus.
yeah,
around there.
easily. I mean, he's one of the best strikeout pitchers in the game. So
I mean, I feel like his last good season was with the White Sox in 2021. When they actually won the ALC like conference. That's also the last time the White Sox were okay. But I think getting traded to the Red Sox would be a good like fresh start for him again because he's also 25 years old. He is just getting into his prime. And being with the Red Sox, a team that's obviously better than the White Sox, even though every team is, but yeah, I think he'll do good
This
things with
is-
them.
I think this is his second year starting. I think he came in as a
He came in
bullpen.
as a reliever, yeah.
Which I mean, I can see the comparisons to Chris Sale already
Yeah.
because bullpen. It's the same story. White Sox, Red Sox, they both get traded. So, moving on, we're gonna go to another young star. His name's Julio Rodriguez. What are we gonna predict for this?
Well, I think he's
Listen.
gonna. I think he's gonna have. I think he can have a 30 home run year or something like that if he can actually like get going early in the season. Because
Yeah.
he's known to having like really slowish starts and
He's
then
also-
picking up.
He's
like, in the second
predictable
half.
for me
He
at this
also-
point.
He doesn't get the ball in the air. Like he's
Yeah.
very ground ball,
Mhm.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. I feel like if he can start lifting the ball, he definitely get around like 30 home run, 30 plus.
I mean, I was rooting for him when in the home run derby where he made it to the semifinal. He was just swinging the freaking
Yeah.
ball away. I'm like, oh my God, can you do that to the Mariners? Can you get the Mariners to a World Series? Can you get them a title? But he didn't. He just stayed. I mean, he batted like good. He was above average for all the seasons he's played with the Mariners. But I don't know. He just doesn't stand out to me anymore as he did like in the home run derby era.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
I can definitely see a 30 year, 30 home runs,
Yeah.
30 stolen bases. I think that is definitely
hopefully.
capable from him. I guess he kind of had like a sophomore slump a little bit, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
he still ended up
rookie year-
hitting.
his
He still
rookie
ended
year
up
was
hitting like
insane.
270 last
Yeah.
year, which is pretty good.
Yeah, he
but,
hits good. It's just he doesn't like stand out like.
I also
overall.
feel like the Mariners don't stand out
Yeah.
themselves. So when
Yeah,
your
I mean,
team
they
doesn't
have-
stand out, you're
Mariners
not
are
Sign like a
just-
15-year
Yeah.
contract.
like
They-
you're
yeah.
not going to
He's
stand
gotta
out
get
if your
out of
team
it.
doesn't really stand out.
they
So
have like one of the best rotations in the league. They just can't. They just can't
They
hit
get
it
it
They don't
together.
have
Yeah,
good.
they can't get-
They don't have good staff.
No matter who they bring.
yeah.
So another young star we're gonna go with Ellie De La Cruz. He's next up. What are we thinking for him?
Holy hell! First of all, like his stats are crazy. He's very talented. He's like, what 22, 23 years old. He's very young and he has an explosive arm and just towering like hit home runs. So that's incredible. And I actually looked up his ranks and he's ranked second in most triples in a season. This is all in 2024. Ranked first in most stolen bases with 67, fifth in most runs in 2024 with 105, and ranked sixth in total bases with 291. And he's going to continue to do great things. This is probably going to be the start of his prime era. And I think we'll see him do great things overall.
He's a carbon copy of O'Neal Cruz on the Pirates. So I see a lot of
100%.
how this guy plays.
Yeah.
He strikes out a lot. He can run really fast. He
Yep.
has a cannon arm.
He's a cannon arm. I was gonna say
He has
that.
the power, But like
He's-
I'm predicting a bunch of strikeouts, but I'm also
But like I got
he
30
has a
home
lot of
runs.
Yeah.
Like a
strikeouts
lot
on
of
his
He had
productive.
resume.
25 last year.
I'm happy
I think
about
he's
it.
ranked number 1 in strikeouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had 144 strikeouts his first year, 218 strikeouts. He has to limit that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go out on a limb. I think he's going to get a 40-40 year.
40,
And
40.
40.
Maybe just get over 40 home runs, but he could easily get 70 bases. I know
Yeah.
Acuna was the first ever 40-70
40-70,
player.
yeah.
He could easily get 40-80 if he really wanted to. I mean, he had, I think, 50 stolen bases before All-Star break last year,
And
which
this
was
guy,
just
yeah,
insane.
he can take
So,
off on like any catcher, and he'll make
Mhm.
it. It's
Yeah.
impossible to get this guy out, especially the fact that he's that tall and he's that
Yeah.
fast. He can easily.
He can limit the
slide under
strikeouts.
that.
Yeah,
he'll
he's
be-
what, 6'5"?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
He
what?
is
Yeah.
very tall. So,
Like Aaron Judge running.
yeah, moving on. We got one more young star. And Barker, I'm going to let you start off with this because
Yeah,
what do you have to say?
Well, it's going to be really hard to replicate what he did in his rookie year. I mean, this guy had an incredible rookie year, one of the greatest rookie years for a pitcher ever. And I think he's gonna do just as good. I think a lot of teams are gonna be figuring out his stuff. I mean, I know he also added a couple more pitches to his repertoire, but he's got that splinter that no one can seem to hit. He's got that fastball, high heat fastball, 100 miles an hour.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say he could potentially now that he has a full season with the Pirates, he spent the full season up in the majors. He's gonna have 200 strikeouts. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, low
Yeah.
key. But he is coming into the season as a Cy Young runner-up, second runner-up, my bad, and a Rookie of the Year winner, like you said. And at the same time, there's a lot of pressure on his plate to like still be the best and still be in that like expectation of like he has to do this good. He has to keep getting MVPs and all. So hopefully he does not let that get to him. I'm low-key rooting for him, even though I'm not a Pirates fan. And I was so impressed when he ended the 2024 season with a 1.96 ERA in 23 games with 11 wins and 3 losses every time he pitched. So props to him. And I found it really crazy how he was chosen to be in the All-Star game, the MLB All-Star game as a rookie, which is pretty
he started?
It's
rare.
very rare.
Yeah,
He
did
started
start the
it.
All-Star
Yeah,
game.
he
He did
struck
start.
Aaron Judge
He
out.
was in the
Yeah.
league
Come
for
on.
he was in the league for like 3 months,
Yeah, it
and
was
then he was
like-
like an all-star.
Yeah.
Yeah, 170 strikeouts
Yeah.
total, ranked number 12 in best pitchers of 2024. He'll keep moving up.
Yeah.
If he doesn't let let that pressure get to him.
Yeah, I think that he has a really bright future ahead of him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one has had a rookie season like that in that short amount of time
Yeah.
that he was here. And I think that, like you said, that if he just doesn't let the bright lights get to him,
Yeah.
then he's gonna go far in the league.
It's prime
See, the
time
thing
for
is,
him.
the thing is, I don't know if the Pirates will be under a lot of lights this year in prime time.
Exactly.
That is
I
true.
said,
They trade him.
I said he has to get out of Pittsburgh if he wants to win.
Yeah, we'll trade him to the Yankees for a bag of chips.
Yeah, we'll take him
Maybe
for our
Polo
fifth
comes to the
best prospect.
Yankees.
Yeah. I'm going
We
to
can
go.
use
I
him.
already went out on a limb already saying Ellie will have a 40-40 year. I'm going to go out on another one. I think he can win the Cy Young this year. And not only
I think
that,
I said
I think
300 strikeouts and make it high in voting for Cy Young.
I also
I would say
think,
200 and maybe runner-up
Mhm.
in the Cy Young.
I also think he can win the pitcher triple crown too, which if you don't know what that is, that's you lead your respective conference to the National League in wins, ERA, and strikeouts. The only thing that's kind of worrisome is the wins. No offense, Pirates winning. They haven't been
It's gonna be hard.
hand in hand for the last decade. So, but I mean, what he had a sub 2 ERA last year, he had
Yeah.
178, and I think he had like 13 starts. You get 17 more starts, you could definitely
And
get.
he can go out there every day and get you 7 innings. at
Oh
least.
yeah,
He deserves
100%.
better.
Like
Yeah.
7
Yeah.
innings. Like
No
that's-
offense, he deserves better.
Gotta
So-
leave
He
it
does,
at
well,
word.
the thing is, we're building a nice team for him. You know, it's
Yeah.
not just Paul Skeens. You know,
I'm gonna
because Jared
see.
Jones
Yeah,
and
we need to
Mitch
see
Miller.
some money being spent, and if not,
See, that won't happen. It will never
well,
happen.
I mean, I tell you what, Paul
Won't.
Skeens look like he's gonna.
he's gonna
So,
get a bag.
better happen.
He's
so.
gonna get a bag, but not with us. He's gonna get a bag with
It's
some other
unfortunate.
someone
He'll
else.
opt out of his contract and come with the Yankees.
Hopefully, we need-
Don't
nice-
put that out.
nice
there.
little 1-2 punch.
Don't put that out there.
I mean, the last Pirates pitcher to go number 1, I forget his name. What was his name?
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole. Yeah. what was that?
I wonder where he is.
I
so
where he's at.
wonder.
Yep.
I wonder who's
Uh,
the best on the Yankees right now.
moving on, we're gonna stay on the defensive side of the diamond. We're gonna give our players of who we think's good defensively. So, I think who's
Same
first? I
order.
think Isabella, you're first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so low key, I wouldn't say I've been obsessed with him, but like the way he plays, it's just I don't know, like I'm just drawn to like how good he is. But I wanted to cover Jaron Duran a little bit. First of all, I love the name because Duran Duran, and he had like I wouldn't say a Cinderella story, but it was like there. He struggled in the past a lot, and then he kind of conquered after, and now he's considered one of the best defensive outfielders in the MLB. And yeah, so he just has a keen eye when he's playing in the outfield, and he has saved a lot for the Red Sox. Duran is at 4 outs above average in the 2024 season, and he's put in a 96th percentile. And 2023 season, he was put in the 57th percentile. So that's a crazy improvement. For ultimate zone rating, he's 2.1, ranks 6th among outfielders, and last season 2023 season he was a negative 1.7, so he's like a major red flag for the outfield, and that does a lot for the Red Sox. He led all outfielders with 12 assists, so yay, and good for him, and had 23 defensive runs saved, the second best in baseball. And fortunately, he was the second team in the All-Star MLB, but he'll get to first eventually.
Yeah, I mean, the season he had last year is just storybook. I mean, he was basically almost being cut. I saw a video of him saying he was doubting himself, telling himself he's not good enough.
That's what I
Came
said.
back.
You might have like a Cinderella story.
I think he had 10 triples, 20-plus doubles, only player to do that last year. All-Star game MVP, phenomenal defensive.
He's a good hitter, too. Last year, he was a good hitter. So he was good with both outfield and at-bat.
Red Sox have a great center fielder. I hate to say that, but
I hate to say it too.
Yeah.
I admire him.
Moving on, Ben, who do you have?
Well, luckily we're not talking about offense. Otherwise, this guy would be nowhere near this list. But it's Ke'Bryan Hayes on the Pittsburgh Pirates. This guy, he makes everything look so easy. And like you see guys like Nolan Arenado, Ryan McMahon. Excuse me. That they're Gold Glove caliber players, right? But this guy, he makes everything look so easy. He doesn't even look like he's a Gold Glove. He's like making insanely hard plays. Like he reacts to the ball really quick on grounders, gets over to it, makes a play. You'll see Nolan Arenado diving for catch plays and stuff, making it look so much better. But Ke'Bryan Hayes just takes 3 steps to his right, and he's already right there. And I think that's a really underrated thing about him is the fact that his reaction time and his quickness is amazing. I mean, he was a Gold Glover a couple years ago, and but last year he kind of had trouble. He had back issues. He couldn't put it together offensively. But that defense is going to be something that the Pirates are going to really want to focus on.
What year is he coming into?
He got drafted in
Third or fourth?
2015.
Oh, jeez.
Back in the first round. Well, that's
When
one
did
of
he
the-
make
10
his,
years
like,
now.
when did he make like his debut? That's
it
what
was
I
like
meant.
2020.
Yeah,
Oh,
2020.
jeez.
So
he gets
Not
his
younger.
offense going around. That's a cornerstone.
he
Hunt.
he made a lot of adjustments with the swing. Like instead of have a one-handed like approach, he's gonna have like a two-handed type of approach.
Maybe this will be his year.
Yeah,
Need
we
it.
can only hope. We're
We
gonna
need
need
it,
it. 'Cause
yeah.
This is one of the guys that we paid 6 years, $60 million. So
Wow.
that's a lot of money.
That's
It's a lot of money from Bob Notick
Better
Waller.
be
right there.
worth it if that's the
Soda's
case.
annual contract. Right
Yeah,
there,
that's how much.
so-
That's how much Soto is probably making in like a year.
Yeah, it's insane.
So-
So, all right, moving on. Gabby, who do you have?
Okay, so I went with someone that's not pretty much like you wouldn't think about defense, but he did win the Platinum Glove for the AL, and I went with Cal Raleigh. So while people do know him for his power, I often think that his defense kind of goes underappreciated. Like, yes, he has awards for it, but nobody ever talks about it. In 2024, he led all catchers in putouts, and ranked in the top 6 the previous 2 years. In 2022, he led the AL in catcher caught stealings. In 2023, he finished second. And then last year in 2024, he was back on top with 26 catcher caught stealings. And then just to cap off his Platinum Glove year, he led the league in innings caught with 1,122. He led all AL catchers in framing runs with 13, and he tied for the AL lead in defensive runs saved with 16. And I think that some of these stats, like you wouldn't think from a catcher, like would win that Platinum Glove, but I think that him being able to have the power and the defensive ability to be as good as he is, I think that's what got him the Platinum Glove, and I think that sometimes it goes underappreciated.
No, Cal Raleigh. He's a huge part of that offense.
Platinum
He's
Glove is crazy.
great part of
Yeah.
defense. Fun fact about Cal Raleigh, in case you didn't know, the only switch-hitting catcher to have 2 home runs in the same game at Fenway Park.
That's an
Just-
ESPN stat
Wow.
right there.
Yeah, just want to throw that out. But
Stat.
yeah, we're not talking about offense. Defensively, he's a great defensive
Yeah.
catcher, and that's going to go under the radar now with this automated like umpire
Yeah,
coming in.
yeah.
Like frame job is going to go down. So yeah, that's a great pick. So moving on. You mentioned him earlier, like a couple minutes ago. I'm gonna pick Nolan Arenado. I mean,
wow.
this guy has been doing it forever. I mean,
He's been injured.
I know, but defensively,
He's Nolan Arenado.
But he's
like-
really good. He has what, 10 golden gloves?
10 gold gloves in 10 straight years. 6 of them
Yeah.
were platinum gloves. I mean, it doesn't get any better
You know
than
who
that.
broke that
Only-
streak there?
Ryan
Oh,
Hayes.
yes, Brian
Brian
Hayes.
Hayes.
So passing the torch. Hey, I'm
There you
just
go.
saying, even before Brian Hayes. we had
Before
Nolan-
Brian
we
Hayes,
had
there was Nolan Arenado.
So 10 years, whenever people were saying that, I'm gonna say I said that first. But no, he's a great defensively. Yes, he has been injured. His streak has been broken, but I mean, he's been doing it forever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope he makes a comeback. I'll
I
root for
think
it. I'm
he
gonna
just
root
needs
for
to
him.
get out of St. Louis.
he
There's always-
does need to change the
That
That's
team's
what I was
scenery.
just gonna say. There's always
Definitely.
those players that are good with their team for years. They stay on one team, but there's also players
Mhm.
that need to change the scenery, and I think it's time.
He tried to impress the Yankees by coming out on a 3-hour flight just to go 0 for 3
Yeah.
with a couple of strikes.
Yeah.
Well, Steve Cohen's like the richest man and richest owner in baseball right now. Maybe he'll pick him up at
Yeah.
one point.
He's getting up there in age too, so it'd be interesting to see
Yeah.
if he can
Yeah.
continue to keep
Hopefully
that.
they don't
productivity.
screw him over though.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on. Let's have an open debate. The season is just young. Season's just young. Let's have some predictions moving forward. Anybody
wants
want
to
to
go
start us off? Yeah.
I'll save mine for last.
All right, I'll start
Yeah,
one
one.
off. I feel like Yankees going to repeat, going to the World Series,
I
just
agree.
because I don't think any team in the AL can keep up with them.
Have you seen Cody Bellinger play lately? Come on, we are saved in center field.
I don't have one.
Parker, just say yours.
You just say yours.
Pirates gonna go 80 and 82. Barely, or it's gonna be competitive until I'd say August, and then we're gonna collapse. And then, but Paul Skeens is gonna have 200 strikeouts. Brian Hayes is gonna
Win
hit
the
over
Triple
300.
Crown, win the Cy Young.
This is going to be a fiery season. Like, there's going to be so much fury in like every
Yeah.
team that's made like the good trades, the good
Subway
pickup.
Series, that's going to be electric.
Yeah.
We already know.
That's
I'm ready.
oh my god, I am
Mhm.
so ready. I think Yankees are going to sweep. I think
I
they're
hope so.
going to give Juan
Got
Soto a
swept
run for his
twice last
money.
year. All right. And sadly, I know you want to hear all of us talk, but I think that is all we have for
Yeah.
today.
Bryce Harper, MVP number 3. MVP number 3. That's what I'm gonna say.
Baseball's a
Yankees
month
versus
away.
Dodgers World Series again.
Baseball's a month away. I'm Peyton. This is Ben. This is Gabby. This is Isabella. Tune in next time.